issues that many people just miss, So I was interesting today. I was going through the global leadership focus, and I came across some interesting insights there. And one of the alarming issues, of course, that was raised was the issue of the increase in terms of stress. The employees and the leaders generally in different sectors of life and leadership. And one of the main causes that was cited was the issue of time and resources, as compared to the task, to the responsibilities, to the deadlines, to what you are really supposed to do. So many people are saying we're feeling burnout, we are feeling stressed, we feel tired because the resources that have been made available and the time that has been made available, the motivation that has been made available for us to do certain tasks that we are expected to do is not entirely, with the requirements or the targets or the timelines that have been set. And because of that, there have been rising stresses, that will eventually cause burnouts and stuff like that, and even cause some people to want to leave, the working environment completely. So when I was looking at that, I was checking and I'm thinking to myself, might it be maybe that we, the working environment, one of the key issues that is being missed there is, I think, is the overemphasis on self-awareness, across board, not only on leadership, across board. I think there's generally been an overemphasis on the issue of, or the concept or the philosophy around self-awareness, where as a leader, as an executive leader, I would expect my team, to be self-regulated and to be self-aware of themselves. And if they are like that, then that will make my system work. Whereas the truth is the reverse of it at all. My systems have to create regulatory measures, have to create motivational measures. It has to be self-regulatory to a point where my team members, the individuals within this system, operating within the system, do not carry the entire responsibility of being self-regulatory so that they make the system work. But the system has within itself mechanisms and methods and events and regulations and policies that allow the system to self-regulate so that the people within it do not feel the burnout. So I was just thinking about it to say there's been too much overemphasis on the issue of self-awareness, because think about it. Self-awareness is you getting to know or defining the moment or what you're feeling within the moment, and if that is overemphasized in leadership, what that will then do is it then creates a burden within a person to say, because I've been conscious of what I'm feeling, then I also have to have capacity to deal with what I'm feeling. But that's a big confusion in philosophy there, because consciousness does not equal to capacity, but many times when we overemphasize self-awareness, we think because I'm aware of what is happening, I'm aware of the stresses, I'm aware, so I have to be able to deal with this. I have to be able to regulate myself. I have to be able to deal with this case. I have to be able to regulate my stresses so that I'm able to achieve what is required of me to achieve. So I feel like at some point we are putting too much responsibility on self-leadership, on self-awareness, on self-regulation, on self-management, and it's not sustainable, because self-regulation and self-awareness doesn't think beyond you. It's intrinsic in its manner and in its design and in its totality, and it doesn't think beyond you to say, if I am part of a team, if I collapse, if I can't handle the pressure, if I can't regulate what I have been able to be aware of, what then happens? Whereas when we measure also, or when we balance the scale together with the systems regulation, what we are then able to do, we are able to create a balance whereby if I can't regulate it myself, the system already has mechanisms to keep me motivated. The system already has mechanisms to keep me regulated. The system already has policies. It already has structures that it has and that it has made to absorb. When we're talking about systems, regulation and management, we're talking about this system that is able to absorb, and distribute evenly the pressure that an individual feels, so that at the end of the day, the responsibility of dealing with the pressures that come because of deadlines and things like that do not solely fall on an individual or on a nervous system, but rather it falls on a structural system that has been set within an institute or an organization. So in other words, the system should make ways that would absorb pressure from individuals, that would distribute pressure from individuals into different people, different individuals. So at the end of the day, the person doesn't feel the burden of self-regulating, as it were. So by so doing, that will help us to really decrease on the level of stress that we are experiencing. So systems thinking has to do with what really carries pressure beyond me, whereas self-regulation focuses on how do I regulate the pressure that I have been aware of. But systems would say, okay, we understand you, but we want to make it possible to carry this pressure beyond you. So when you are about to collapse, what is it that absorbs your pressure and gives you back your energy so that you are able to keep on running? It should have systems that will be able to motivate people as they automatically regulate the pressure within the people. I think that makes sense. So we need to invest in systems. As institutes, we need to invest in systems, because think about it, self-regulation is about a person, and a person operates within systems, and systems outlive an individual. So if we are going to be sustainable institutes, and if we are going to deal with this rise of stress and burnout, and people wanting to leave workplaces, people wanting to change jobs, where we are not even able to retain the talent. In the next session, I will talk about the retaining of talent, where we are not even sure if the next season we meet after a holiday, when we close the year, after closing the year, in the new year, are we going to be able to retain the talent? Because the people that we had have been through so much stress, and they feel burnout and stuff like that. Even the productivity that we are getting, the results that we're getting, the output that we're getting is not in its maximum, because the individuals that are giving us that output, they are not at a point where they feel like they are motivated enough to do the work, where they feel like the resources are enough for them to do the work, where they feel like the time is enough for them to do the work. So there is need to create systems within our institutes that will be able to absorb and distribute the pressure within the system, within the mechanism, so that it's not a one person responsibility to regulate it and to feel it. And let's never think as because the other danger, the other big thing, the other big temptation is always thinking, because I pay you what I owe you every month, then you being regulated and you being motivated to do what I've asked you to do solely relies on you. I think that's a wrong thinking. We need to shift our thinking and be deliberate on thinking about the welfare and the regulation measures of the people that we employ and we deploy to make us be able to achieve and attain our vision.